So just a few months ago, there was a state of emergency that was issued in New York City by the mayor because of all the migrants that were being shipped off to New York from southern states. Well, they had to find somewhere to house these people. So I don't know, they came up with some kind of plan with hotels, and I guess hotel is getting state money, which is, taxpayer dollars are paying for this. So a lot has happened since these migrants started showing up, and they're still showing up. But these hotels are going downhill. So this report is about a former employee who is revealing shocking conditions in the New York City hotel due to everything happening with the migrants. So I've seen videos, across the internet about these children that are just being left alone, the violence that is taking place, the businesses that are struggling to survive, all because of what New York is doing and where they're putting these migrants at makes absolutely no sense to me. So a former employee is blowing the whistle on the conditions and the activities. His name is Carlos. He's a former employee, said that the Row NYC Hotel is a free-for-all for drugs and sex and violence, has engulfed the hotel, which is now one of the city's largest housing areas for migrants. Carlos alleges that he has himself found a 10-year-old girl drunk in a hotel room with her parents nowhere to be found. As a matter of fact, he doesn't even know if half of the children that are there are actually with their actual parents, because the guardian that has them leaves them there in the hotel for days, if not weeks. And these kids are just doing whatever they want to do. And this is not just a one-off situation. He says him and other workers have found this time and time again. Not only are they finding these things, they get this special treatment. This hotel is washing their clothes. This hotel is feeding them 3 times a day, providing room service as far as cleaning their rooms. And the minute they clean the rooms are back to way the trashed, disgusting, beer cans, wine bottles, everything everywhere. I don't know how they're getting these things, but they're getting them. So it says that he is a former employee, but he's blowing the whistle. And this is not the first time this person has blown the whistle on a company, but he's doing it with this New York hotel. So he says every day we find about 10 kids alone in their hotel room, drinking or doing drugs. Weapons will be in the room, but we're not allowed to go in there. We're not allowed to take anything from them. It's basically a free for all. And this hotel is not just any hotel. This was a tourist hotel. It is located in the city's theater district. It is surrounded by businesses that cater to tourists, and their businesses are struggling because of high crime, theft, fights, etc. in front of their buildings, if not inside of their buildings. So he says while he's no longer working at the Row, he shared that he and other workers had experienced trash rooms, violence in the streets, and multiple staff incident reports during his time there. Staff would even have to be escorted out to their vehicles or to the train stations because of the threat from the migrants, because where they're coming from horror, and they feel they can inflict the same horror in the United States. Back to him not knowing, or the staff not knowing, whether those children actually belong to the parents that, are there with them, because they find fake passports all the time. And social security cards, all kind of fake documents in this hotel every single day. Now, this is all alleged, but there are pictures showing the hotel. So, I don't know what exactly is happening, but it's insane. So he says that other former co-workers felt endangered every single day. And the migrants know that there's really nothing going to happen to them. The most that could possibly happen to them is they will be simply reprocessed and sent to a different hotel or housing center. If they are kicked out of the hotel, they get sent to a processing center at the Port Authority where they get given a second hotel. So say a husband decides to beat up his wife, he will get kicked out and they will just process him and send him to a men's hotel. So if you break the law, it's not we're going to report you to proper authorities or arrest you. We're just going to move you. So money-wise, where is this going? In a memo from the New York City Office of Management reported by the New York Post, the city will spend an estimated $4.2 billion on costs related to migrants and asylum seekers through June 30, 2023, and the end of the fiscal year of 2024. At the Row specifically, it is costing taxpayers around $650,000 per night to house the migrants. That is insane. When we have homeless people, Americans, no one is doing anything to help them. They just pushed them off to the side. Anyway, ringing in around $500,000 per night per room. How many homeless veterans do we have? But we honor them this day, right? So just wanted to bring you quick news you can use. Please give this video a thumbs up, share it out. Leave some comments down below. Let's talk about what all this is and what is going on, what is happening in the world. I understand we need to help people. That is what we are here to do. But we need to help people the right way. Just giving them a place and not giving them, like, are the kids going to school? I mean, what's happening? Let's talk about it.
Hit the like button, man. What y'all doing? Hit the like button.
Metropolis is currently in a state of emergency as over 60,000 illegal immigrants have made their way into the area. Mayor Eric Adams has recently declared that 50% of the hotels in the city are now filled with migrants, and for the first time, we're getting an exclusive look at what the inside of one of these hotels looks like. We sat down with whistleblower Carlos Arellano, who worked inside the Row NYC for the past 7 months. This hotel, located 1 block from Times Square, previously rented rooms for $500 a night. Carlos shares it is now the largest migrant hotel in New York City.
So in the hotel, we have close to 5,000 migrants. It hovers between 4,800 to 5,000. It's the biggest hotel out there that's housing migrants.
I think it's a 4 or a 5-star hotel. This is a 4 or a 5-star hotel, guys, that these migrants are staying at in New York City. The Row is
A city employee, correct?
Yes, I was a side administrator at the Row Hotel. Anything involving this hotel, I was helping run it.
One of the first stops migrants make when they are bussed in is the Port Authority bus station. It's at this station that they are first dropped off, assigned a hotel, and sent to locations such as the Row NYC. So when a migrant comes to the hotel, what does the process look like?
They're taken to our intake center, which is they just register their names, how many kids, and they give them rooms. With our medical team is where they determine if they need certain vaccinations, which are usually turned down by the migrants. They don't want them. But a lot of the times they will have some kind of sickness to them, and that's when they're Ubered out to hospitals that work with the migrant hotels. Everything ranging from doctor's visits to medication is paid for the migrants.
I believe we have a document where car seats can also be provided for the migrants as well, correct?
Yes, car seats, cribs for newborns. There's, I want to say, at least 2 to 3 babies a week being born at this hotel.
What?
ID NYC, they have IDs from the city of New York.
And what can they do with those IDs?
Well, a lot of people in this hotel are working with that ID. Aside from that, they're receiving I've seen food stamps, cards arrive, a lot of services that are provided to them just for having this ID.
And then my other question for you too is, how much does it cost per day to feed these migrants?
So in our hotel, it's $383 for 5,000 people. And that.
Bro, look at that. New York City officials says city is spending an estimated $5 million a day on housing.
Across the city for the next 6 months, a budget of around $55,000 per migrant. However, the city is running out of hotel rooms, with Adams stating that some hotels don't want to shelter migrants. Carlos provided us with an inside look at the Row NYC that may give us some insight as to why.
The migrants being in those hotels have destroyed them. There's a lot of alcohol in these rooms. Housekeeping is there all week, and they'll clean it, and by the end of the night, there's kids getting drunk together. There's people hooking up with each other. I even have seen reports of certain managers who are using this to get intimate with people. It seems like the hotel is meant to be a family hotel. One situation that I'll never forget was I was on my lunch break and I was at Walgreens, and while I was in line, I saw one of the migrants sticking alcohol into their children's backpack. And they stick them in the children's backpack because they know we wouldn't dare to check a child's backpack.